Nirma, what happened? How can a person like Karsan Bhai think that he can fight a company like Nirma? But he had his own ideas, created his own business, and almost every one of you must have bought this. What CK has done, Kevin Care, the sachet shampoo, is that right? What made an entrepreneur to fight liver and create his own way of life? So that is what we say that if you want to set up a new venture, if you are an entrepreneur, what you have to do? You have to basically change the equation, change the balance that the existing players already are having. Can you now shift the balance in a way in which you can now become a player, and what you offer is going to be more beneficial to a lot of other customers. Like if you want to buy, when you get what first time Kevin Care shampoo, what happened? You have to buy a bottle of shampoo for 200 rupees. Against that, what did CK said? Just take 1 rupee and have a good bath for yourself. So that changed the entire equation for the customer. You think that these are all the E-generation. What is E-generation? What happened in the last 30-40 years by the entrepreneurs who came up with new ideas which were not there very short time back. You can see that PCs, who came up with the PCs? The Altos and the Apples, they are the ones who came with the PC, not the Take and the IBMs or the Burroughs. You can see biotechnology, you can see the cable TV. In CNN the first time people laughed at CNN. But then you can see that how the people were able to break it. So let's take some of the entrepreneurs in India who have followed a different path, who have created something unique, something new. You can look at them. You know who are these entrepreneurs? Yeah, who's the first one? Anyone knows? Very good. Then Subhash Goel, yeah, that's right. CK, Deep Kagla, Make My Dream, Suzlon. So you can see that all these players, they thought that even though there is current business situation which is tough, which is not helping them, they can still come up with something that will work, and they came up with that. Do they all succeed? Have they faced difficulties? Was this smooth ride? Of course, it was all very tough. Let's take another look. Can you make out who are these people? They are all the entrepreneurs who studied in India and then went out, went to the USA, and you can see some of them are all alumnus. Madhwani, Kamal Reddy, Bharat Desai, who has helped us to create this center. So they are all entrepreneurs who are not only in India, they have gone out. Yeah, and then went to MIT. Yeah, that's right. And of course, I think all of them Raj knows personally very well. I am sure some of them will interact with you in the course of this program. So you can see that that is what the entrepreneurs really achieved. So when you are going to set up your own venture, you need to do something which is going to be different. It has to achieve something more than what is currently being achieved. And therefore we say that there are 3 C's which are required for this new venture or the innovation. What are these 3 C's? First is that as an entrepreneur, you have to bring a new content to the market. What's the new content? Either a product or a service which is not there today available, or a substantially superior product or service that you need to get into the market. Or you need to make a different way of creation, different way of making that it will be the same product but we made it in a very efficient way, different way or different resources then there is a possibility of doing that. For that you require either new technology, new materials, or new productivity, new engineering methods. So all those can give you the creation part. Third is very important part, very unusual. People don't really pay attention to that. It is how do you really create a better way of consumption for the customer. And what is that? Either ease of receiving the service or product or ease of consuming that service. Today you are seeing a lot of these MTR packets. You see the advertisement with 10 hands for making breakfast for 10 people at one time. Is that right? What is that? All of us can make some way of upma or something. Why this company is putting this into the market as a different way of listening and consuming the same thing that you are doing. So ultimately, either one or more of these C's need to combine together to create a better value. Customer must benefit because of this. They must say like, yes, I need to have those 3-4 things, then only it will work for me. The question is, how do you really create the value? How do you really create the economic benefit? For that we will take one model. There are various ways, but one model we can take for that. And what does that? To create a value equation, you need to either create something or eliminate something, or you have to raise or increase something or reduce something. Is that right? Anything comes to your mind that one of these things was done and you got a better thing? Yes? I am using this. Has it changed? Earlier is what it was used. I used to require, everywhere I used to have connections, wires and all. So today we have eliminated almost all of those. Or we have created something new or better. What do we get there? Any idea what is this? Yeah? Yes? Any idea? What are you looking at? Huh? Okay, good. Yeah, anyone else want to talk about that? Very good. I think you should give a clap to me. Yeah. This is the original or ancient format of it. What you are today seeing, what is the growth you are seeing here? Every 3 months, 6 months, 1 month, adding millions of users. This was the original Facebook that we had in our colleges as students, where every year used to print and give it to our colleagues or faculty and all. That was the original Facebook. Has it changed, that Facebook and the Facebook we have today? Is that changed or not changed? What has happened in that Facebook now? Has it created something, raised something? Yes? What does today Facebook do compared to that printed book which I have kept in my home for last 30-40 years? What do you have? What you have created? You have created now an online community of users for specific interests or specific community that you need to enjoy or interact. What is the second thing we have done? What you have removed now? Today we can be in touch any time. All your interaction can be round the clock. You can be on the Facebook and interact with your partners or friends. What you eliminated? No need to keep any records. No need to make separate phone calls. You are there round the clock with them. And what you have removed? What you have reduced actually? Any idea what is that? 6 to 4.74? Yeah. So what has happened now? That has come down to, thanks to 1 million members of Facebook, has come down to 4. So that's what has happened when you see that. invention, new product, innovation has to result in some form of value equation which can happen because of creation or elimination or reduction of certain parameters. So let's come to the final situation. When you say new venture, therefore, we mean two things very important, that without two things there is no new venture. What are those? You must have two things for a new venture. We have seen that now. What's that? What we need to have? Yes? Yes? Without that, you can't have a new venture. What's it? Very good. We need an act and we need an actor. So we require two things for that. The act is innovation and the actor, people like you who want to do it, will be the entrepreneurs who would do it. For innovation, we need to combine, and we saw that opportunity and the customer need, which people really want to have. For that, we need to pay for that to get the value. And the entrepreneur must have his own way of looking at things, doing differently, like the Michael Dell. And not only doing it alone, but he needs to have right connections and networking. And with that idea, innovation and entrepreneur, they have to deliver value. Unless that is there, there is no going to be new venture. And for new venture, we require resources. That's what we need to do. So for value, what we require? New product development, better customer benefit, better value equation, and all this will be required for partners, team members, founders, new technology, and of course money to raise the business. So that's what we are going to look at, the innovation part in this, innovation part in this venture program. Typically when you have these courses, especially in the business schools and advanced courses, it is assumed that you have learned basics of all the economics, accounting, finance, HR, people management. But in our case, as you can see that we have got a wide cross section of students, so most of you cannot be exposed to these elements right now. But yes, that's a difficulty. But we would have to do that. But once you say you are doing a business, you need to at least pick up elements which are essential in these areas. So while we are not put that a prerequisite, on your own, we will have to definitely do some self-study for it. The course structure we are going to have in the class sessions that we will have, but more importantly, it is going to be much beyond the class sessions. We will have a lot of exercises, reading, assignments, both in class, outside the class. We will have some live discussions. People will come here or we will arrange, I think, online interaction with some of these entrepreneurs that I talked about. And we expect that at the end of this course, you will really prepare, start with an idea and prepare a possible potential business plan for your innovative idea. So what do you expect that you will learn from this course? Why we designed this course for the students that we are having? So basically, like we started, what is business? We would like you to understand what the basics of business, the logic and the mechanics of business. That's what you need to understand. What it takes to be an entrepreneur. The mindset, the hard work, the preparation that you have to go into an entrepreneur. Understanding the basic concepts, how you move from stage-wise, that is from the idea stage to the product, prototype, ultimately to a working model and then to a commercial situation. Very importantly, we cover some of these important areas on technology cycles, technology evolution, the S-curves. I think Raj will give some really great examples when you take the course. And how does technology and business interact? Today, increasingly, they are intertwined. It is not separate from your business. The technology is a big part of the business itself. And finally, the business plan and feasibility study. should also keep in mind that while we had done this course for entrepreneurship and the Center for Entrepreneurship, no matter what going to be your ultimate placement, wherever you will go after finishing your course, whether it is BTech or other courses, you will ultimately go to a business, maybe a small or big or corporate business. All businesses today, they require some elements, and we will cover those elements in our program. No matter where you go for a job now, they all expect that you have got the creativity and opportunity, assessment, evaluation, management, skills that are required for the business. Almost everywhere you will require real-time action when you are facing certain situation, what needs to be done in those areas. You have to be able to work even though things are not very clear. Like you could be told that make 100 calls per day. That won't happen now. 85 that happened or 84 that happened today. You will not get a order from your boss that make 100 calls and go home. Today you have to do yourself with your assignment. Teamwork, very critical as a project leader, project manager. What is evangelism? The idea? What is evangelism? Who is the evangelist? You have heard the word? Yeah? What does he or she do? Yeah? Promote the